Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. I've been kind of snuggling and reading this extra biblical text called the Investiture of the Archangel Michael. It's really a multitude of manuscripts. It even gets triple manuscripts at times. And I'm only in the first couple chapters, but I'm finding it to be theologically sound. So I made the PDF if anyone's interested. And I just want to talk about what I've been able to discern so far. Here we are in an instance. These are teachings of Yeshua. And we're in this situation where Yeshua is on the Mount of Olives with his apostles, right? And so I'm discerning this as truth because we had the same situation in the Gospels of Mary Magdalene that we see. He's on the Mount of Olives with his apostles. And they're basically having almost the same conversation. These texts are completely unrelated. He's saying, anything you ask of me, I will tell you. He says that in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. And basically we're seeing this same conversation happening in this text as well. So the reader can understand this to be as truth. So it gets into stuff about John the Baptist. I don't know. I haven't really studied extra theology on John the Baptist, so I just put that kind of stuff on the shelf. But then we get into the creation of the devil and the creation of Adam. This stuff we have studied extensively, so we can discern whether it's true or not, or whether, how we should be able to weigh how much we could take seriously or discern, all that kind of stuff. And the answer is yes, because it confirms theology that we're seeing in the Armenian Apocrypha. Okay, so the Gospel of Mary Magdalene and the Armenian Adamic Apocrypha and this text clearly have nothing to do with each other. Yet we see them, their foundations are built on the same theology. So we know we have truth here. So let's talk about that. As far as the creation of the devil and the fall of the devil, from what I've learned, yes, it wasn't just, what's in Isaiah 14, the fall of Lucifer. It wasn't just one single entity. He was in control of leagues of angels, and leagues of angels fell with him. Talking about the creation of Adam, which is really amazing, which I found to be a confirmation. Now, in the Armenian book of Adam and the life of Adam and Eve, and if you read these texts and stuff like that, what's taught is that the reason why Eve was deceived, was even able to be deceived, was because the angels left her presence to worship God. And in that hour that they left her presence, the devil swooped in and talked to her. So, that sounds very strange to us. But here, this text is getting into how Adam, the first flesh created in God's image, was such a wonder to the angels. It talks about how they all co-inhabited with him and praised and worshipped him, and the whole wonder, yay. And the devil, out of jealousy and pride, refused to worship Adam, and that's how Lucifer fell. But so we open that can of worms in Isaiah 14. Oh, Lucifer, how have you fallen? That just opens a can of worms of prophecy. But so we see this stuff as truth, so the reader can understand. So I'm only in the first couple chapters. I'm reading about Eve, I'm reading about Adam. It goes on and on. But what I'm seeing thus far, it's theologically sound. So it's really awesome. And, don't take my word for it. Don't just read this text and, should I believe this or not? We just have to keep reading, So may the reader understand. In order to catch up on what I'm talking about, I do recommend the Armenian Book of Adam. All the stuff is on the website, and reading the collection of the life of Adam and Eve. You'll see the same stuff. There's there's discrepancies in the text, but you'll see the same foundational truths, and so you can discern the truth. Okay, and here, yeah, we have the same theology, and also the first chapter of the first book of Adam and Eve, which is a very profound chapter. If you look at that through the lens of the flat Earth, which every single scripture is through the lens of flat Earth, every single text, everything, the heliocentral model does not exist in the biblical lens. We see confirmations in here as well. The Garden of Eden was all the way to the east at the border of the earth. So the Garden of Eden maybe was in Asia or something. I don't know. Really amazing. But yeah, so, is this text inspired? No, I don't think so. But it's theologically sound thus far, at least with what I'm familiar with in Adam and Eve and stuff. The stuff about John the Baptist, I don't know. There are a lot of extra texts on John the Baptist. I haven't read them yet. But one thing I was able to discern, I'll share with you. John the Baptist's head was cut off, and his disciples kept his body. So we could see the prophetic implications. This is my interpretation. In Hebrew, the head is a symbolism of authority, right? In Psalms, oh, I thank you, Yahuwah, you have lifted up my head. That kind of stuff. It's strength, it's authority. So when John the Baptist is killed, his authority is gone because his ministry is gone, but his disciples kept his body. So that's an interesting thing to meditate on. Probably going into Yeshua, I don't know. So it's pretty cool. That's what the text made me think about. So, yeah, I'm having a really good time just curling up. We're having thunderstorms. It actually hailed here for the first time in maybe 25 years. I've experienced hail. We had a little bit of hail here. And I'm just hanging out reading this text. It's a real pleasure. So I made the PDF, figured I'd share it with you guys. All right, enjoy. Yah bless you. Thank you for tuning in.